Welcome to AIS Water. We are a manufacturer based in Australia who only do inline chlorine generation via electrolysis. So you may be wondering what that is. Inline electrolysis is simply salt water pools. So it is essentially chlorinated pools or using liquid or granular chlorine, but we do it in a very innovative way. Instead of dosing chemicals into the pool like you do with granular tablets or liquid chlorine, we have devised a system that allows you to create chlorine inline and on-site from salts and minerals already dissolved within the pool water. The key difference to that is that you are no longer dealing, purchasing, handling, storing liquid or granular chlorine. The issue with liquid and granular chlorine is they are very, very toxic chemicals. So a wrong mix of granular chlorine can actually cause explosions, and using liquid chlorine can cause very significant damage to your local infrastructure, and it is a very corrosive substance. So if you get it on your hands or skin, it can actually cause quite severe chemical burns. When you're using liquid and granular chlorine, you are essentially pouring those chemicals into the pool in a way for water treatment to keep the pool from turning green. Those are very powerful chemicals, which means that it does the job, but there is a very big risk and cost doing that treatment. When you are dosing liquid and granular chlorine, you are adding those chemicals to the pool, which will actually build up over time. So as you're dosing liquid chlorine, it actually reverts to salt. So a lot of people don't know that once the chlorine turns into salt, it actually stays within the pool. So most chlorine pools are actually saltwater pools. So what people don't understand is that liquid chlorine pools are actually saltwater pools. See, liquid chlorine is actually around 3 times saltier than seawater. So you are dosing this very concentrated salt solution into your pool. Once the chlorine does its job, it reverts to salt, and that salt builds up over time. With granular chlorine, the actual chemical that's used is calcium. So as you're dosing the chlorine into the pool, the calcium levels are becoming higher and higher, and after only maybe a couple of seasons, the hardness will be at so high you'll need to dump the water. The innovative approach we've taken with inline electrolysis is you add the salt into the pool, and our system simply converts that salt into liquid chlorine. The liquid chlorine does the sanitation and then reverts back to salt. So it's a never-ending cycle. With inline electrolysis, you never have to handle chemicals, you never have to handle liquid or granular chlorine again, and everything's done inline and is completely autonomous. Traditionally, saltwater generators were based on toroidal transformer technology. With NEO, we have gone into a newer style called SMPS, or switch mode power supply. This allows for chlorine generation at a very low TDS at only 3,000, and it can actually go all the way to direct seawater. It's also suitable for smaller pools at only 20,000 gallons, and then going up to 40,000 gallons quite comfortably. But then we're in design of systems that will actually do up to 5 pounds a day. So any size backyard swimming pool will be able to treat by NEO. Installation takes about 2 hours for full install, and once it's installed and switched on, you don't need to worry about the chlorine generation again. Everything is controlled by this device. We have a few safety features included within the machine. So it's got flow sensor, it's got temperature sensor, it tests the salt. So on the device, it's actually recording the salt level, and it's letting you know that if the salt's too high or too low, and it's also connected to Wi-Fi as well. So anything happening with the device will actually go into your phone via a AIS Water application, and will tell you if there's anything happening with the device, so you can get to it quite quickly. One of the key differences with the new NEO is actually the new interface we have designed. So instead of push buttons or manual control, everything's actually done by a rotary encoder and a 3.5-inch LCD screen. With the rotary encoder, it's as simple as twist and then push to select. So as you go through, all the menus and everything is all done by a rotary encoder. So it's actually so much easier to use than buttons or touchscreen. Touchscreen can be quite difficult if you've got wet hands or if it's in direct sunlight. It can become a little bit bit out of calibration. It's a bit difficult to use. With the rotary encoder, it's all ready to go. It's got some special features like super chlorination, boost mode. It's got Wi-Fi built in, and it's got even things like backwashing mode, where it'll actually run through how to do a backwashing. So what we've designed is a system that you won't need to read the manual. We've tried to do it in a way that you don't need to go through, find page 16 of the manual to try find how to operate the system. It's very intuitive and very easy to understand, all by this rotary encoder. So thank you very much for joining us here at AIS Water. If you are interested, please give us a call on +61 07 3396 5222, or send us an email at info@aiswater.com.au. Thank you very much.